Welcome to the Troy Kearns Podcast. We talk all things real estate, business, and entrepreneurship. Today, I've got a very special friend and one of the guys who presented at our event, Baskal Korkis. He has an interesting story, and I want to let you tell it. Tell us where you're from. Tell us what brought you here, like to the United States. I know that's where I want to start.
Awesome. So I'm from Syria. I'm Aramaic, so we were like the first people who converted to Christianity back 2,000 years ago. So it was a minority in a country that didn't have many opportunities. So my father left when I was I was just born.
Right.
And he went to America, spent 3 years getting himself situated. And then when I was 3, my mom, myself, and my sister came to New Jersey. And I grew up in this area, Prospect Park, Paterson, New Jersey, which is like a Middle Eastern ghetto. And that's where my childhood was.
So you grew up in New Jersey. When did you leave New Jersey?
I was about 11.
Okay.
And then I moved to Florida, where I've basically lived since. And now I call home. I love it. I live in the Tampa Bay area.
Right.
It's just beautiful.
That's awesome. And what got you fascinated? So you're kind of living the American dream because, and probably because you came from something else, right? Like a lot of people who are here, they don't see what the opportunities are, but you came from a place where Christians are persecuted and where it's very violent. A lot of people leave there, right?
Yeah. It's, a lot of times when you're growing up and you're going through hardship, it's, you go through this why.
Right.
This why. And you can, when you grow past that point and you've gotten to a sense of freedom and you can then see, okay, I've gotten through such a difficult thing. Right. That's actually motivational to be able to continue moving.
Right.
And so it becomes those things that held you back. Once you able to get to, say, a normal state where you're kind of where everybody else is.
Right.
That was the hardest part.
Mm-hmm.
As what did they say? The first million is the hardest million.
Right.
After that, it gets easier. So when you're coming from like a negative, and low income neighborhood, rough, and you're moving to a middle class neighborhood, you're like, wow. It's actually easier now to move from middle to upper.
Right.
Because you're just used to scrounging. And it's like your story.
Yeah.
You came up with nothing. So it's easy for you to hustle and keep growing and keep going and keep going when everyone else can just get lazy or sedentary.
Yeah, I think work ethic is probably, I see your stuff and you're always, and I took we have a lot of commonalities that we don't even know about. Like I'm watching, I'm like, you start with the end in mind. With everything that you do, you pay for the cost up front, and you know that the returns are going to be good if you do that. Like I was looking at you putting your Ethernet cables in, and you're putting your USB. I thought I was the only one that did USB-C ports in there, because like you said, you're providing value, and it might be a $15 plug, but it's going to save you a lot of headaches, or it's going to help somebody else, and it's just a nice upsell. Tell me about what you invest in, and because I know that you just spoke, but a lot of people who are listening to this right now may not have heard that speech.
Mm-hmm. So my investment model is buying downtown core, secondary, and tertiary markets. And we buy multifamily properties, we buy restaurants, we buy medical offices, we buy everything, because the building is not what we're buying. The reality is we're buying the dirt.
Right.
In my mind, it's a covered land play.
Right.
Where eventually one day I can bulldoze the building and put something else better there. I can always convert the property to something else. Maybe I won't bulldoze the building, but I'll do a full gut reno and I'll change the use of the building. The location is most important.
Right.
And it's once you are in the business long enough, you understand location.
Right.
That's where wealth is.
When you say tertiary, for people who don't know what that word means, can you break that down for them?
Yeah. So let's say you're in a major metro.
Right.
And the primary city, let's say we're in Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas.
So we're not buying in Austin, downtown Austin. It can be very expensive. During economic cycles, the ups and downs are more violent.
Yeah.
You feel them more. You're buying in the 1 hour surrounding
right. Okay.
another city that is a major metro, but it's smaller than Austin.
Right.
But it's close. It's an hour drive.
Great.
And you're buying in that downtown. And that's where everybody, when they want to leave Austin and kind of just get a little bit more space, and you want to have kids and raise your kids,
right.
You leave Austin, you go to this another major city, and you're in that downtown. And you hang out there on the weekends.
Would you call that the suburbs?
You can call it, I don't call it the suburbs because I live in the suburbs.
Okay.
In Tampa. Which is north.
Wesley Chapel?
It's about 45 minutes from Wesley Chapel.
Okay.
So that's a suburb. I'm investing in the downtown core of, say, Tarpon. I live in Tarpon Springs.
Okay.
Which is North Pinellas. But there's a downtown core Tarpon Springs.
Right.
So I don't live in the suburbs of I live in the suburbs of Tarpon, but I don't invest there. I buy in the downtown core, where I believe that's the best upside.
Right.
And you can get the highest rents for Airbnbs and your short-term and long-term rentals. You have the downtown market, so you can redevelop the building. There's all these opportunities for you to do more than just a single-family home. Because with the single-family home, the value of the property is attached to the tenant's income. Because with the tenant's income going up, rents can go up. But if you're in a downtown core, you can repurpose that building into a real estate office, into a lawyer's office, a medical office, into Airbnb, short-term rentals. If you're in the suburbs, you're probably in a deed-restricted community and you can't do short-term rentals.
Right.
So you're very limited on what you could do with your dirt. I don't like being limited.
No, me either.
And that's why I like my financial freedom. So I don't want to be limited on my assets. I don't want to be limited on my decisions. And that's how I kind of grew into this business model.
So I wanted to interrupt you in this podcast and just take a quick moment to tell you two things. Number one, we do this for free for you. I haven't made a nickel on social media at all. I'm doing this to provide you enough value. So all I'm asking for you to do is share it and give us a 5-star review. It'll totally help us out, and I really appreciate it. The other thing, if you want more free resources like our free Facebook group, it's Millionaire Mentorship Real Estate Investing on Facebook. All you got to do is join it. It's free. It doesn't cost anything, and there's lots of resources there, and we'll definitely give you those for free, no charge. Here's the other thing. If you're serious about investing in real estate and you're ready to take action, I have a program. No matter where you're at in your real estate journey, I can help you out. I don't care if you've got 5 houses, 10 houses, no houses, 100 houses. I've got something that I can share with you that's going to make you a lot of money. And if you want to become financially free and you're brand new to real estate investing, this is the absolute thing you want to do. And here's the thing. What I've learned from most of my students right now is that it's not just an investing program. It's a mindset program. We're going to change the way you think about money. If you want to start investing, make sure you schedule a call with me and my team, and let's get the ball rolling. Guess what else? If you are like, man, I don't got the time and I make tons of money, I just enjoy listening to what you're going to say, that's cool too. We actually have set up a fund where you can invest with us, but you got to be an accredited investor. If you want to find out what that looks like, all you got to do is click the link in my bio, fill out the form. It takes you about 2 seconds, and then we'll let you know about the deals that we're doing. We're doing big deals in Kansas City. And this year, I think we'll do 2 huge deals in Kansas City. I'm looking at a few right now, and I want you to be a part of it. And if you've got more money than time, then that's what you should do. If you got more time than money, then schedule a call with me and my team, and we'll get you into our coaching program so that you can have more money than time. What's your biggest dream? Like, what would be the biggest thing that you would say, like, man, if I could do this, I just did everything that I wanted?
I really want to be able to help a lot of people with their financial freedom.
Okay.
So to be able to bring that education and an opportunity. So not so much teaching people courses.
Right.
But so one of the things I'm working on now is an app, which is a fintech app, which is all in one. It does everything. And it educates you and it explains to you what you're doing and how you can make decisions to improve your decision making,
right,
to increase your probability to have financial freedom. And I believe if people have their financial freedom, they'll stop making decisions that aren't beneficial to them.
Right.
So they constantly making worse and more worse decisions,
right,
to get deeper and deeper into the hole that it's hard to get out. And if there's something to tell them or guide them, that'd be helpful. So being able to provide that for a lot of people, that'd be one of my major goals. This is one of my BHAG.
What would be your selfish dream?
Selfish dream. Have like a $1 billion car collection.
Just cars.
Just cars.
Cars. So let's get into that. What is the baddest ass car that you want right now?
Oh, it's a 1999 McLaren.
I like the McLarens too.
Right? So I believe it's the new one is called a P1.
Okay.
But I think it's called the F1. And right now they go for like they were $1 million in '99. Now they go for like 25 to 50 million, depending on the condition of the car.
Are you kidding me?
No.
A McLaren is a 25 to 50 million dollar car,
and it cost $1 million in 1999. It's 3 seats. You sit in the middle of the car, and then you have two passengers behind you.
Okay.
Yeah.
How fast does it go?
Naturally aspirated, 200 miles per hour.
What's naturally aspirated mean?
Means there's no turbos or superchargers.
Okay.
So it's a naturally aspirated engine.
So it just means gas to fuel injection to go.
Yeah. So there's not like a turbocharger that's taking your exhaust fumes to speed it up and push it back in. So it's like most of the Corvettes are naturally aspirated. Ferrari 458 is naturally aspirated. I think those are also going to be collectibles one day. 458 naturally aspirated. Then 488 is a turboed version, and then now they're going to go to hybrids. So all those cars I think are going to be very collectible.
Yeah, that's crazy. I did not know McLaren was like I looked at buying McLarens. And do you like to drive fast?
All the time.
Okay, yeah. What's the fastest you've ever driven?
167.
Okay, you got me beat. What kind of car was that in?
My Model X Plaid. So it's a 6-seater car.
So Model X Tesla?
Tesla Model X Plaid. Sits 6 people. It's an SUV.
You didn't have the kids in the car, did you? No. I told my mom that the other day. I hit my Porsche and just at 135 just to kind of see what it got, just real quick. I didn't push it any further than that.
Yeah.
And she's like, "You have kids and a family," and I was like, "Yeah, I feel pretty safe at 135."
Yeah, the car is pretty safe. I mean, that car is a ridiculous vehicle. 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds.
Yeah.
0 to 100 is like 3 seconds, 3.5 seconds. So it's super stable. Again, not advisable. So, but I would love to hit the track.
I'm assuming.
Of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to start when I get some more free time, when I start building out my team better, I want to start.
So you love cars?
I really love driving. I love cars. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
So what's your next favorite car?
Next to that, you know, I always had a dislike for Porsches.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I won't take that personally.
I don't know why, but I did. But the Porsche GT is such a nice car that it won me over. I was just like, I this is nice.
Yeah.
So I was actually looking at one in 2020. It was one for sale for like $1 million, and I was like,
God damn, you're looking at expensive cars.
I have expensive taste.
Holy crap!
For me, so when I was growing up, I wanted a GTR.
Yeah.
And I had 23 units, and I was gonna actually I had 17 units, and I was gonna buy another 6. And I was like, should I buy another 6 or should I buy the GTR?
Yeah.
And I ended up buying another 6, and then the real estate market crashed in 2008, and I was like, I should have bought the GTR instead. It would have been a better financial decision.
Yeah.
So that car when it came out was $60,000 to $80,000. The car today is still like $60,000.
Right. I don't seem to have that luck with cars. So yeah, I mean, I buy I got a Ford Raptor and I've got a Porsche Macan and then Toyota.
It's enjoy yourself. You only live once.
That's something I totally agree with. You only live once. So for guys who are trying to get started investing in real estate, you've been investing. How old are you right now?
I'm 37.
God, okay, you're so smart. So 37, and when you started at 23, did you say, or 19?
No, at 23 I had 23 units.
Oh, that's what
I started studying at 14, and I'd work for investors for free to pick up the knowledge. This is before YouTube.
Right.
And then at 19, I was able to do my first deal. At 16, I could have done my first deal, but my dad wouldn't co-sign.
Yeah.
So then I was 19. I had my tax returns in order. I had everything because you need 2 years of tax returns.
Right.
So 18, I had, the bank. 19, I had 2 years of W-2s. So I was able to get the loan.
So if someone's brand new and they're trying to get started, and knowing all the lessons that you've learned through the process of, how many units do you have right now?
Like 145.
So out of the 145 units, I'm sure you've bought and sold, because you're a licensed agent as well, right?
I'm not.
Oh, you're not? Okay.
That's the one thing I really disliked. It was a turnoff to me.
Yeah.
To be an agent.
Yeah.
So but I basically have every other license: mortgage, insurance.
Yeah, you got every other
accounting.
one. So
I have everything else except
that
one.
Yeah.
I'm actually working on a title company. So
that is a big business. That's a big money maker right there.
Yeah.
Title companies, you need 12 deals to pay for all your overhead.
A year, right?
No, per month.
You can do less than that.
Well, the guys I talk to here locally, to pay for like a full-time title person and full-time this person, like a title and a processor, it was like 12 deals a month would make you break even in terms of like just an average transaction. And then, pay for...
they're probably thinking about, because they have to pay overhead for an office.
Yeah.
I already own the offices.
Right.
So that overhead for an office and internet and cable and blah, 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 I don't have any of those overheads.
Yeah,
I just need one person.
And what does a title company even do? They just order payoffs.
They order payoffs and they do background searches and such. And but other than that, they really don't do anything.
They don't do anything.
No, they don't really.
It's the silent money that's passing across the table that everybody's like, oh, well, that's your escrow fee, and that's your this fee, and that's your this fee, and that's your title. Yeah. Title insurance is usually like $150.
Yeah. So the benefit that I'm providing to our clients is that we're going to have a lawyer in house.
Wow.
The lawyer is going to be doing all the docs. So say you do a deal, and the lawyers already did the title work. So then by the time say something comes up, the lawyer already knows your deal. So it'll be easier to get legal advice.
So you've got funding in-house, accounting in-house, title company, lawyer in-house. What else?
So we have an accounting firm, taxes, bookkeeping, payroll, insurance agency, home, auto, GL, commercial.
Is it a broker?
Or brokerage. So we work with multiple different people.
Awesome.
Then we have the mortgage company, brokerage as well. We broker our mortgage deals. And sometimes I'm not the best option. So I'll go to a private bank or a local bank that can give us more creative options. So I don't have to use me, right? I'm happy with going to someone else that can provide the best. And to be honest with you, I'd rather not have all those companies.
Right.
But I kind of got into those businesses because I couldn't find someone to perform to the level that I was looking for.
Right.
So we did it in-house. Because I'm like, how do I know more than my insurance agency? So
which one do you plan on getting rid of?
I really don't. The accounting firm is the most labor intensive.
Right.
Because, when you're hiring a professional accountant that knows what they're doing, almost everything that I'm charging goes to the staff. There's so little money left over. And then when we're doing strategy calls, like people are like, oh, well, how come it's $1,000 for the hour? I'm like, because I'm the only person that can actually structure your business in the right way that you're going to be tax smart and then be able to set it up so you're getting enough income that's passive so you can have passive real estate investments counteract the losses from the passive real estate, counteract the passive income while you're running an active business. Because there's certain ways you can structure that to work out that way.
So would you say your business is more of a real estate investor with a couple side businesses?
Yeah, you hit it on the head. My main goal is to make my rental properties, my investment portfolio, the most profitable. And because I couldn't find other people to do the auxiliary things, we did it in-house and we taught our staff what we're looking for, what we want them to do.
How many people are working for you right now?
Direct staff, probably around 20. And then subcontractors, probably like 50.
Yeah, and you're talking like laborers and whatnot as well?
Laborers and 1099s that are basically only working for us, but they're not our employees.
Right. So where do you see yourself in the next 10 years?
Like Troy Kearns, right?
Oh,
owning
whatever, dude.
Skyscrapers in downtown, right?
Dude, that bill on the empty, you don't want, you got to get it stabilized first. But no, it was pretty cool, but it won't be cool until it's producing income.
Yeah, I agree with you because people are like, yeah, they're going to celebrate, you're going to pop bottles now that you bought that building. I was like, no.
No.
I still have to I have to stabilize it. I have to do the full gut reno. Then I have to rent it out. So I'll celebrate in 2 years when I do my cash out refi and it's stabilized and I got my money back.
Yeah, that's funny. That's what I put on my time clock too. 2 years to get it stabilized. And, hopefully it goes less than that. Hopefully it doesn't go any more than that. But yeah, something like that. Those legacy plays where you do something, you were like, oh, I started with this house in Renton, Washington, a condo in Renton, Washington, and now I'm buying this stuff. It's just, progression, right?
Yeah.
You're not doing the same thing that you were doing before. So yeah, that's cool. I'd love to see you do something. And I'll be down there in Florida with you. And so we'll be pretty close. I'll be probably at that point in time having season tickets to the Miami Dolphins, I imagine. Is your team Tampa?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. What do you think about Brady?
I think he's a good player. What else is there to think about him, right?
No, but he retired.
He did, I think, third time he retired.
Is it the third time?
Yeah, he retired when he left New England.
Okay.
Then he came to Florida and said we're going to do like 1 or 2 years. Then he retired again, and then he stayed on for the third time for the third year in Florida, and that was just basically, I think, the third time.
Do you think he's coming back?
It's really hard when you are a top performer to stop performing in some aspect.
Right.
When you're hustling your whole life and you're driven and you're focused, the hard part, I'll give you my example. My coach is a powerlifter, a powerlifting coach. He's the world's best powerlifting coach. He's 65 years old, almost 65 years old. He weighed 154 pounds at the last competition, total 1,540 pounds, natural, bench, squat, deadlift. Like the dude is ridiculous. So imagine, you're 64 years old, weighed 154 pounds, and he deadlifted like 600.
Wow.
Right? Natural.
What are your stats?
I haven't PR'd in a while because I've been off season, but last Saturday I did 435 for 8 on my deadlift, and I did 375 for 8 on my squat. So I'm working on building up my core, my 8 to 10 range, and then I'm going to start like loading up. But you don't really load up until you're in a competition.
What is the benefit of powerlifting?
It is mental health for me. Powerlifting gives you this, when you do a big deal, you're like, oh my God, this is a big deal. I'm stressed out. Electric bill's $18,000 a month.
Right.
It's not stabilized. The city's giving me issues. Nobody's working on time.
Right.
This is driving me crazy. When you're going to go and you're going to, squat 375 pounds and you need to do 8 reps.
Right.
And you're like, damn, that's a lot.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
I don't have to do it.
Yeah.
What's another deal?
Yeah.
What's another rep?
Yeah.
Why am I even doing this to myself?
Right.
You have your body is fighting against you.
Right.
Your mind is gonna be like, why you gotta do more work?
Right.
So when you can go and you can push yourself to accomplish a physical goal,
right,
it becomes so much easier for you to accomplish a psychologically difficult goal. It's so much easier that you can accomplish and overpass an emotionally difficult goal than financially difficult goal.
That's good advice. I like that. I never thought about it like that. But so you got your mind on that, and you're realizing that you're just kind of callousing your mind, as David Goggins would say, right? You're getting into that whole zone. Well, that's cool, man. Well, I appreciate you coming out here. I appreciate you coming on the show. I appreciate you sharing all your words of wisdom. I appreciate you, your friendship, and the fact that you've been so generous. In fact, the first time I met you, I think you bought lunch for the entire table in Dallas, Texas. I remember that. And then you've been generous with your time out here, and you've been generous on the podcast. So I just want to say thank you for everything. And if there's any other things first of all, if people want to follow your journey, how do they do that?
I'm on YouTube at Baskal Korkis. I'm on Instagram at Baskal Korkis. That's, my website's baskalkorkis.com.
There's not too many people with that name.
It was I had to fight for the website. So, Also, I also have one Instagram account. So if you see a lot of people copying me, there's only one.
Right.
Yeah.
Right now they're gonna have now they get the blue check mark without having to rig the system.
Yeah. You don't have to pay $10,000 for it anymore. Now it's like $8 a month.
Thank God. All right, man. Appreciate you coming on the show. We'll check out on the next one. Peace. Are you interested in investing in real estate, but you don't feel like you got the time to take a coaching program. I get it, right? You're busy, you're making money, and that's okay, but you want to invest with me because you're like, Troy, I like what you do. I see what you're doing. You're a real deal. Yes, I am. I'm an average Joe. I worked at Burger King. I worked at Red Robin. I started investing in real estate, and I started from absolutely nothing, and I will take you along with my journey, and you can get all the benefits, but you got to be an accredited investor. If you want to invest with me and you want to be a part of something great and you don't have the time, guess what? We're launching a fund that you can be a part of, but you got to be an accredited investor. And if you want to find out more about what that looks like, all you got to do is click the link and we'll show you exactly what that looks like. And guess what? If you're not an accredited investor, then you may down the road be an accredited investor. So definitely learn what that's all about, and we'll see you on the next one.